raised by Kwasing, and I want to put it clearly that I don't use a course to ngag a committee. When you look at when those orders were issued, Chair.
That was just a side comment. Answer the real questions.
I want to ensure that I have a livestock master plan to take care of the pocots, to take care of the pastoralists, and be able to identify how many goats, how many cows, how many chicken that we have, Mr. Speaker. And you realize Kenya, I think is importing meat, yet we have the third largest ant in Africa. I am going, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that progressively we will be able to see how we can manage our arable land, and so that we are able, because the problem that we have majorly with the pastoralists is pasture. I want to introduce something I want to call saline agriculture, where we will be able to tap the waters, probably like in Turkana, because water is saline, and be able to grow pasture and grass can grow there. There is no land that cannot be able to be utilized to support our livestock, because that is the major problem that you have in feeding the livestock. It's sure for them to have value, and because abattoirs and just like I said, the issues to do with livestock are also with the county governments. I know there are those feedlots that we can be able, in conjunction with the 21 harried areas governors, to see how we can organize the livestock sector so that they have pasture, water for their cows. But I know, and this answer will have to come from them because they are pastoralists, how we'll be able to keep the animals together, because even when these pastoralists or animals are moving from one place to another, there is a lot of loss of weight and minerals, and that is why you realize their livestock are not able to feed or to fetch so much money. So I'll be engaging you. I'm not a pastoralist. I'm willing to listen, come up with ideas, and everybody else, because that's my duty, to address the problems that Kenyans have through consultation and advice. So I'm open-minded. My policy is open. Mr. Speaker, the question Rahim asked whether I will implement my manifesto. My manifesto ended when I lost the position of governor in Meru. But I want to tell you that manifesto borrowed seriously from the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, because we are in those consultative meetings, and I wanted to align my thoughts and ideas along the Kenya Kwanza plan to address the problems of our people in Meru, because I would not have done it alone without consultation, without working closely with the national government. So whatever we talked about and whatever is in the Kenya Kwanza government manifesto is what going to plan. That's the campaign I'm going to lead to espouse on government policy and agenda for us to be able to serve this country, and in a manner that is so inclusive. Mr. Koech, you talked about drought ravaging the country. It is true that there is drought, but allow me to say that we have and people are almost losing lives because of lack of food. We'll have immediate, medium-term, and long-term plans on how to can deal with this situation. And one of the things that I think and the government has already started doing is the provision of relief food to those people that are quite vulnerable. It may not, I would not want it to be a thing that we must really be happy about. Let it be, food relief must be a last resort. And irrigation, just like the President said yesterday, is something we'll have to ensure that any irrigatable land that is available for farming, then we put it into agriculture. I want to persuade the government or the cabinet to also be able to come to agree, because we have so many pieces of land that are idle, owned by government. You realize it's a shame when you find the prison service is buying food, or money is allocated to buy food, yet there are a lot of labor force and the very big tracts of land lying idle without any agricultural activity. So I'll be pleading for government to find it, or to give a directive or a policy on how we can utilize government land institutions that have big land for use for agriculture. Our universities, those research institutions, how we can apply those pieces of land for agriculture, and even for training, knowledge transfer to our young people who want to do agriculture. Then of course, agroforestry will be very important. Then how to engage everyone else to deal with the effects of climate change. I will have to talk with my counterpart in the Ministry of Education, so that we also revive again the 4K clubs in our schools. I don't know how they ended up dying, because as our children grow up, then they're able to know, to adopt an idea that we must start sending ourselves from the school and be able to appreciate how important agriculture is. Mr. Amisi, you asked about the flow. That was completely deliberate, because the documents that I've given out here, because people that are alleging, I don't want to give them an opportunity to prove, give them opportunity to prove their case. It is their business to prove what they are saying. So by so doing and understanding the powers of this committee and the correctness of the information that you give them, because it's also binding, I didn't want to assist them prove their own case. And just like I think both said, if there is anything that is not correct, it's a matter of time. But I want to say that whatever I am giving out here is true to the best of my knowledge.
Honorable members, we have so far done, just hold your cards, we've done 2 hours and 5 minutes with this nominee. Can we agree to an addition of 15 minutes, then we close? Yes. So I'll give all the remaining honorable members 1 question each. Naisula